And now on to that homicide investigation in Hamden. A woman is found dead in her home after a fire tore through it. But investigators say they don't think it was the fire that killed her. News 8's Josh Scheinblum tells us why.
We're here on Lilac Avenue where police are investigating both a fire and a homicide.
We didn't know what was really going on.
A quiet neighborhood in Hamden has been transformed overnight. Where cars once easily passed, a swarm of emergency vehicles sit idle, the scene of where a home burned earlier in the day.
We saw the smoke bellowing out of the house and the fire trucks.
Around 1:20 Saturday morning, neighbors on Lilac Avenue reported seeing a fire at this house in the 20th block of the street. Shortly after first responders came on scene, a 45-year-old woman was found on the second floor dead, with injuries investigators think were unrelated to the fire. Authorities tell News 8 they believe she was the victim of a homicide.
Whether this was a random act or whether people or persons responsible knew her is unknown to us. And so I'd love to be able to tell the public that this was an isolated incident and not random, but I just don't have that information right now.
The identity of the woman involved has not been released. It's also not clear how she died. Police saying they're still in the process of notifying next of kin and that the victim's vehicle was found burned in New Haven. But with few answers as to why it all happened, some who live in the area are concerned for their own safety.
Makes me think about my wife and family, things that, I don't want to have happen, but you say it'll never happen to me, and then it's around the corner, a little too close for comfort.
It's kind of disturbing to think, a few houses down, that someone I had talked to a few times in the neighborhood has had her life taken from her.
Danny Cuneo, who lives in the neighborhood, says he knew the woman who lost her life. He describes her as a down-to-earth individual.
I had seen her a few times walking her dog. We had stopped and talked to her. Every once in a while she'd ask how we were doing.
Cuneo says he's distraught over what's occurred and that he's thinking of those who've been directly impacted by the woman's death.
My thoughts and prayers go out to them. I'm sorry for such a tragedy to befall just, a normal person.
The Connecticut State Police Arson Squad is also assisting in the investigation. For now, we're in Hamden. Josh Scheinblum, News 8.